as it continues to attack the southern city of Rafah. A British lawmaker from the ruling Conservative Party has announced her shock defection to the rival opposition Labour Party. And the Olympic flame has arrived in France, where it begins the torch relay ahead of the Paris Games. That's the latest feature story news. Julia Chapman reporting.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. Candidate filing week in Washington kicked off Monday with more than 400 federal, state, judicial, legislative, and county offices up for grabs in the November election. Candidates vying to take over outgoing Governor Jay Inslee's job have spent a combined total of nearly $7 million on their campaigns to date. The second most pricey race for the state official is that of Attorney General. Their candidates so far have spent more than $2 million. Also up for grabs in November's election are the state offices of Treasurer, Commissioner of Public Lands, Lieutenant Governor, Superintendent of Public Instruction, Auditor, Secretary of State, and 3 soon-to-be vacant seats on the state Supreme Court. Now, the U.S. is updating its Social Security estimates. The go-broke dates for Medicare and Social Security have been pushed back thanks to an improving economy. If no changes are made, Medicare's Hospital Trust Fund would be able to cover only 89% of the costs in 2036, 5 years later than the previous estimates. Social Security will only be able to pay 83% of full benefits beginning in 2035, instead of last year's estimates of 2034. And in our last story, leading Democrats in the Senate have reintroduced a bill to remove marijuana from the list of federal controlled substances altogether. This after the Biden administration moved to significantly ease regulations on the drug. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, and Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey have applauded the move, but said it didn't go far enough. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie.
It's 7:24.
Programming made possible by donations from the following.
New Health. If you're ready to make a real difference in the lives of others, then you're invited to dive into a rewarding career at New Health. They're searching for passionate individuals to join their diverse healthcare team. New Health offers medical, dental, behavioral health, and pharmacy services to meet the needs of our communities. They're searching for passionate individuals to join their diverse healthcare team. You can be a part of a supportive and collaborative team who share a passion for making a positive impact. More information on open positions and applications can be found at newhealth.org/careers. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978.
KCHW thanks New Health for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven-fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Come on, boy. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah.
Goodness, I jumped the gun there a little bit. Good morning. That means it's time for the Wednesday Community Roundup. We're here at KCHW with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and Sharon Ludwig. How you doing this morning?
I am doing great. How about you?
Apparently, I'm a little tongue-tied this morning, but that's okay. It's early. Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got some stuff going on. We got Sharon here today, Wednesday, with some local activities going on.
We do.
And the usual funny and not so funny stuff. So yeah, did you have a good weekend, Sharon?
Yeah, what I can remember of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It was a big community yard sale this weekend.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Did
yeah.
you go around? Did you get lots of stuff?
I did not. I just manned the one we had over at the Center for the Arts, and you weren't even here. You were off playing.
I was. I don't know if I'd call it playing. I was getting beat up all weekend, but it was fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We was off shooting a movie over the weekend.
How fun is that?
Yeah. It was 4 days.
Yeah.
It was a grueling schedule, and I was the character I was playing got beat up pretty much the entire time, and a lot of that translated into me really actually getting beat up for about 3 days, 18 hours a day.
So you didn't have a stunt double? You did all your own stunts?
I don't mean to brag, Sharon, but I do my own stunts.
Ooh, nice.
No, it was a lot of fun, and I know we had the Creative District also had a fundraiser.
They did
pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, how'd the theater do?
Oh, well, we offered everything for free and just asked
right.
for a donation, so we made a couple $100. We were glad, and we were glad to get rid of a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Probably could have used some of that stuff here.
Well, people donate to the theater, and we take anything with the caveat that if we can't use it, we'll pass it on to other people. And so we had a lot of clothes that people give us, and we pull out what we can use for costumes, but a lot of things we can't use. We just have so much storage that, you have to be pick and choose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of the Chihuahua Center for the Arts, this Saturday is Chihuahua's Got Talent.
Ooh,
Episode 6. Yes. The show starts at 6 p.m. Tickets have been selling crazy fast. They've been going online actually really fast. We sold out online Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
I actually had to go on there and add more tickets.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, because they were selling. They were sold out for about an hour before we were able to get more tickets up and going.
Uh-huh.
I had 3 different people message me, "Hey, your tickets are sold out. What's going on?" So yeah.
Yeah. So can people get them locally too?
They can. They're available at Valley Drug, the Independent, and Acres United Drug.
Good, because there are some people that don't do online. I know.
They're not
comfortable with that, so they want to have that little hard ticket in their hand.
Yeah. And then Friday we're going to be at the Friday Market. We're going to be doing some live broadcasting, and if there are still tickets available, I will have those with me there as well.
Nice.
So
then you'll let people know too whether they can pick them up at the door. Actually, at the center we don't turn anybody away. It's just that you don't get to come in until just a minute or two before it starts, and you may be standing in the back.
Well, there you go. And we are going to have tables and chairs, so I think we might do the same. If there's you might not get a seat at a table, and I'm sure there's going to be extra chairs. We can throw a chair or two in the corner. So we'll keep those ticket sales going. You might want to come early if you want to get a seat. Those doors are going to open at 5:30.
And that's only if you have a ticket, because if you don't have a ticket, you get to wait in the foyer until before we start.
That's right. Those tickets, the pre-sold tickets get seated first.
That's right.
If you don't have one, and we might sell out so much that we just aren't going to be letting anybody in.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful about that. But we do have a great lineup. I'm excited for the show. We've got people doing fire pot. It's not real fire. They're using LED lights because we can't use fire in the theater for liability reasons. We've got some great singers. We've got a multiple-time national champion clogger.
How fun!
Yeah, doing a dance performance. We've got some people singing. There's a young band that's doing they blew us away with their auditions. I'm not going to give too much away. You got to come see the show if you want to know about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we've got a good show. We got a great team up to help us with the behind the scenes stuff. Still don't have anybody doing lighting.
Oh.
Yeah, and I keep meaning to reach out to Bob, but I haven't yet.
You're supposed to reach out 2 weeks ahead to our lights and sound people.
I
You don't
know.
have 2 weeks.
I don't. I have like 4 days, but
Yeah, because they might not be available.
nope. I know.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, yeah, those tickets are available at ShwilasGotTalent.com, KCHW.org, on our Facebook page, or Acres Drug, Valley Drug, or The Independent.
Nice.
So there you go. Or I've
Yep.
got some tickets with me. There's a couple folks running around with tickets for sale as well. I know Heidi and Joe Wozinski have a few. Or no, I'm sorry. Tom and Margie Walters have a few that they're selling.
Okay.
But yeah, again, like I said, going fast. I didn't even check on sales in the stores yesterday, but when I checked the day before, those were also selling really fast. So
Okay. It's going to be a great event.
it will be. It will be.
Yeah,
I'm
and
excited.
So fun because we haven't had one for a while.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly where I was going. 5 years since the last show.
No.
Yeah, 2019
Yeah.
was the last Chileans Got Talent.
And then we had COVID, for 2 years.
Yep,
Oh, my.
May 4th, 2019. There was going to be one in October of 2020. But, as the restrictions kind of started to lift a little bit, and then they locked back down. So
Yes, they did.
Scott decided to go ahead and cancel that one just because it was a crazy time.
Yeah.
So there you go. Chileans Got Talent, Saturday, 6 o'clock, Chile Center for the Arts.
Okay.
You got to be there. All right, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of bits and breaks here if you're ready.
Okay, I am.
I will. Do you want to go ahead and kick us off?
Okay, a man is standing outside the gates of heaven. St. Peter approaches and asks, "Can I help you?" The man replies, "No, thanks." He continues to stand on the clouds. "Are you sure I can't help you?" says St. Peter. "No, that's fine," says the man. Several minutes pass before St. Peter approaches the man again and says, "Look, you do realize that if you're here, you're dead, right?" The man replies, "Oh, I realize that." Then he points down through the clouds and says, "I'm just waiting for the medics down there to realize it."
I don't get it.
I don't get it, but it's kind of
get it.
silly. Yeah.
Maybe they're keeping him alive just enough.
Maybe.
All right, so these are the most absurd fights. So obviously on social media, there's a lot of fights and stuff that are happening, and these are some things that have been. I believe these have been posted online. Maybe. Oh no, these are social media texting. These are been submitted through social media. That's what it is.
Okay.
Sorry, sometimes the wording on this is a little hard to understand when
Yeah.
you don't read it in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Graham in Texas shared, one time my wife found a dog on the street. I told her we weren't going to keep the dog and to not bring it home. And I said, "Don't you bring that dog home." She said, "Okay, I'm pulling in now." Of course, she had the dog, and we ended up keeping it, and now we have 3 dogs.
Aha.
That
Yeah.
sounds like my house.
Yeah.
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 Or when one of my kids, messaged me, "Hey, I found a snake on the ground." We said, "Don't get close to it." She came over closer, posted another picture of it closer. "All right, that's right, but don't touch it. Don't touch it." Posted another picture a few seconds later, holding the snake.
Oh.
Put it down. It was a garter snake.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Joan in Texas says, "My husband always wanted a motorcycle, and I didn't want him to get one. But I finally caved, and immediately after that, he flew to Houston without telling me during the day and came back with a motorcycle before I could change my mind. He never even said he was going to work that day. He bought the motorcycle to surprise me." Oh, yeah, that's a surprise, all right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Surprise. I just spent half of our savings. Aren't you excited about this new thing I got for myself?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Funny.
For anybody out there listening, if you want to surprise your spouse, don't buy something you want and say, "Surprise, I bought this for myself."
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's not a good surprise.
That's not a surprise. Yeah. That is, I just spent a bunch of money on something for myself.
That's right.
And not only that, he took the day off work.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this next one here, Marty in New Jersey had a drawer with her things at her now husband's apartment. Sorry. The big difference there between husband and ex-husband.
Yes, it is.
Now husband's apartment, and saw a charger plugged into the wall, but didn't realize instantly what it was. "What the heck?" she said. She's like, "Psycho, I bought you a charger for your work phone for the nights you sleep over." 15 years strong, and her phone is still never charged. What?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. So she had a phone charger. I'm not going to try to figure it out. Apparently, she thought it was weird that somebody would put a phone charger in someone else's wall. I don't get it. These stories today are a little off, aren't they? Anyway, go ahead.
Sarah, who's in North Carolina, we recently got into a fight over the font size of a printed promotional item I was making for my business. We both prefer small font, but I was thinking in my target audience, small business owners, typically male between 55 and 65. And I assumed a larger font would be better for aging eyes. We didn't talk all night. Well, what a silly thing to fight over. And besides, you don't talk all night anyway because you're asleep.
Right? I don't know. Maybe it's because of what my wife does for a living, but we argue about font size all the time.
Oh, really?
And it certainly is not enough to make the news. Oh, hey, I got to backtrack a little bit. We never did the weather and school lunch menus. Yeah, so let me go ahead and
we're just jumping around today.
I know,
keeping
right?
People on their toes.
That's right. You never know what's going to happen on the morning show. All right, really quick, though, I'd like to say good morning. We were speaking of filming this weekend, and K.S. Brooks is watching.
Oh, good.
So good morning. She says good morning to us.
It says Gino's watching also.
Oh, good morning, Gino. Good morning, Kat. That's awesome.
Oh, this is so fun because I'm so jealous of Val because she gets all kinds of comments. And so I've thought about having a contest to see who could get the most comments. But I know she'd win, hands down.
Ooh, oh, yeah, absolutely. She's got like a little fan club.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting ready to start having her like moonlight on the rest of the week and say, Val, you're busy 4 days a week because you're the one that brings in the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Val is pretty great, though.
Yes, she is. I enjoy
really
listening to her.
Okay, so for weather, we got 69 degrees for our high today with some clouds and sun in the morning. Get a little cloudy in the afternoon. 41 degrees overnight with, again, some cloudy skies. But then tomorrow, things are going to start clearing up and warming up. It is going to be pretty nice tomorrow. 78 for the high and 47 overnight with sunny skies. Then Friday, things are actually going to get hot.
Really?
Yeah. 83 degrees for the high on Friday with sunny skies. 51 degrees for the low overnight.
Wow.
Those overnight lows are getting down or staying up, to where you're not going to be cold going out in the morning. It might, maybe it's time to start hanging the coat up even,
Or planting the garden. Yes. Although I know some things can already be planted and some people have already planted.
Well, I know they say the last frost average is usually about May 15th.
Yes.
So we are
heard.
Really, really, really close to that point. And it might be time to go ahead and don't take advice from me because I suck at gardening.
Well, I've lived in Chihuahua about 50 years, and we have had a few surprise frosts over Memorial Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we just don't plant things that are real, like tomatoes or something out there that would be real damaged. Susceptible.
Yeah,
that's
gotcha.
the word. Until Memorial Weekend. And then it's so warm it catches up.
Right. Yeah. And I actually had a little bit of ice on my windshield this morning.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was supposed to be that cold, but it was. All right, so then moving on to Saturday, those high temperatures sticking around 84 degrees with 53 for the low, sunny skies again. Sunday, 85 for the high with 50 degrees for the low. Again, mostly sunny skies. Clouds rolling in on Monday, but it's actually going to get, in my opinion, we got a nice little stretch of nice weather. 77 and 49 on Monday. Tuesday, 74 for the high, 46 for the low. And for the foreseeable future, we're getting high to mid-70s for our highs and mid-40s for the low.
Nice.
Which, if you ask me, we're in the stretch right now. This is
the good weather.
Yeah, this is the weather we wait all year for. So take advantage of it because we got about a week and a half of it.
That's right, and then we'll be complaining about how hot it is again.
If history has any indication, it's going to start to get hot.
Yep.
And I know there's some power companies and stuff that are starting to take measures already to start doing some wildfire prevention. I know
I saw that. Yeah.
It's a little controversial, but they're starting to plan some rolling blackouts. In areas to help. To help prevent some of the load.
Yeah.
To help prevent some of those fires. It's some people, I'm a little worried about that because some people have medical equipment. You start planning these things. Some people can't afford those backup generators or backup power supplies.
Right.
And there's going to be some people without medical equipment for, there's some of these blackouts they're planning are for pretty extended periods of time.
Oh, really?
Multiple hours. I don't know if some of them are overnight.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into it that much to know exactly when. I just know they're planning them, but I guess we're gonna be hopefully they have some sort of schedule that they put out so people at least know to be prepared.
Well, and that's why they're letting you know, because most medical equipment, if it's chargeable, then you can go for several hours.
Right.
But it's when you don't keep it charged, like charge it overnight, then you can go all day without having it plugged in, that kind of stuff. So you just have to be prepared and know that that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know I used to have a CPAP, and it didn't run off battery. There was no backup for it.
Oh, yeah.
And those battery-operated CPAP machines are really expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of times not covered. A lot of times the insurance will only cover whatever the basic model is.
Right.
At the time when I was using it, if that thing went off in the middle of the night, you knew about it. You woke up and you couldn't hardly breathe through that thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so on to the school lunch and breakfast menu. For breakfast today, we have a cheese omelet. Wow, man, they're getting fancy over there at the school.
Yeah.
I tell you, I want a cheese omelet. A variety of cereal, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk with breakfast. Then for lunch, we have a pulled pork sandwich with romaine salad, baked beans, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, milk, or fruit, and your choice of milk.
Sounds like pretty decent meals.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're in the South, man. You got some pulled pork sandwich and beans. I love it. Sounds good. So let me close out of this here really quick. I got too many tabs open on here. Okay, where are we? Do you want to go ahead and get into the local events?
Oh, sure.
While you do that, I opened the show and I forgot to remind everyone or let everybody know that today, for the second half of the show, we will be joined with the new managers of the Friday market.
Oh, fun.
In just about 15, 20 minutes now, we're going to be joined. We're going to hear about what's going on with the Friday market. It opens on Friday. For the season, May 10th, and we're going to have conversation about what's going on there, what to expect this year. I know they have lots of new stuff planned and bringing some new energy to it. That's going to be really exciting to see what happens over there.
Nice. Do we have any local birthdays to start with?
We do. Thank you for reminding me, Sharon. I'm just all kinds of off today, Alrighty. Actually, we only have one on our calendar today. That looks like Hunter. Hunter, I apologize if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Buke? It's Buck or Buke? So anyway.
I'm not sure.
Hunter, happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Today, of course, is Wednesday, and we have soft pickleball up at the golf course from 9 to 11:30 this morning. 18 and over, especially for beginners. Now, if you're interested, they will teach you everything you need to know.
So this is soft pickleball, right?
Yeah, soft,
right.
Which means it's easier on you.
They don't mean it's a soft rubber ball.
No.
That's not going to hurt you. They're going to teach you how and take things slow on you, and then later on you can go to the Friday pickleball where they really get aggressive.
Yeah.
This is full contact pickleball on Friday, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay. Chihuahua baseball is playing at Gonzaga University today.
Oh.
Yeah, in the district tournament. They
Ooh,
are
good
ranked
luck, boys.
number 1 in the state.
That's amazing. They've been doing so. I am so proud of those kids.
Yeah.
What a great season they've had.
Yes.
It's really been fun to. Yeah.
Yep. And just a reminder again that at the center we have no sit and knit class until September. This last Monday we were there for a meeting and somebody came in. She didn't know that. So Catherine sat and had a sit and knit class with her. And, but we might not be there.
Yeah.
Because we might not be having a meeting. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
We're trying to take down all the signs that are all over town, and we're trying to let people know that we're on vacation.
Yeah.
Until September. Fired Up Pizza has bingo tonight at 6, and the Cougar Golf District's at Asotin. So we still have sports, although some of the sports are gone.
Yeah. Oh, and Tech Help is at the Chihuahua Library from 3 to 4 p.m.
Oh, yeah. So there is something for everybody every day in Chihuahua.
Well, I love that tech help that they do at the library. You know, anybody has problems with their computer, they want to learn how to do something.
And you don't have a 5-year-old grandson to help you.
Exactly.
You go there.
Having trouble figuring out how to open that spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Go on down to the library.
Yep.
They'll help you out.
Very helpful. Tomorrow, Thursday, May 9th, line dancing at the Chihuahua Center from 2:30 to 4:30.
Yeah. Just after the food bank closes. The food bank's open from 10 to 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the food bank takes donations. And as we're talking about gardening and the family or farmers market, if you have extra produce, they will take what you have and help and spread the word,
Very cool.
the wealth. Yeah.
Very cool. They do good stuff over there.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Friday, May 10th, we have chamber at 7 o'clock at the casino. That's for businesses, but we have just individuals who like to come and know what's going on in Chihuahua, and you're more than welcome to come to the chamber if you can get up at 7 in the morning. I know you can't. You can't do it because you're on the radio.
I would love to be able to do both.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with my kid. If I could clone myself.
Well, every time our president starts introductions with some question, and last one was something that you'd really like to do. My answer was to bilocate. I would like to be in two places at the same time. Yeah.
You know, the conversation started, though. I was in the car with one of my kids. I looked over at me and said, Dad, if you cloned yourself, you would annoy yourself so much. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Oh, my.
That's probably true.
Yeah. And Friday also is adult pickleball, so you could go to the chamber and then you go to pickleball from 9 to 11:30 up at the golf course. And the farmers market opens, and we're going to talk more about that when our guests get here. That's exciting time of year.
It is exciting. You know, I've said it before. I sound like a broken record. I'm a sucker for street fairs, markets, all that kind of stuff. I love it. I can't get enough.
It's just a great atmosphere, and they have great products too. Yeah. Yep.
I'm looking to see. I don't know for sure, but I'm looking to see if they have new food vendors this year.
Oh yeah. Well, I follow one of them on Facebook, and they've been planting hundreds of things. You know.
Oh, nice.
Their tomatoes, their green peppers, and all this kind of stuff that.
Nice.
They have them under row covers or in hoop houses and things like that to get a start on the season.
And I'm excited to go get some fresh veggies.
Yeah.
Like. You know that you go to there, you get your veggies from the grocery store. You have a couple days, you know, probably you got to eat those things right now, and sometimes they're not always the best to start with.
Right.
You get the stuff fresh from the farmers market, and you know, I'm a procrastinator. I'll buy veggies and leave them sit in the fridge for a week before I think about, you know, or have the time to do all the prep and everything. You know, it's amazing how much longer those fresh veggies last in your fridge and stay fresh.
They haven't taken the truck trip. From the south.
And been bounced around all over or flown halfway across the world in a lot of cases, especially during the wintertime.
But how fun that we have that kind of transportation so we can get vegetables and fruits all year long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When I grew up, you know, there were things you didn't get except certain times of the year.
Right. Yeah, it was all seasonal. Yep.
Yep. Okay, Saturday, Gold Hill Trail will do I believe it's their last work party from 9 to 4 up there. And I have not heard how much they've gotten done, but I'm sure that they could still use some more help finishing up. Chihuahua's Got Talent, which we talked about
this is
little
correct.
bit. And we're excited about that. Tell us again, what time?
Chihuahua's Got Talent is at 6 p.m. Doors open at 5:30. It's at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts. What's the address for that, Sharon?
Oh, yeah. You'd catch me. I don't know. It's south of the museum.
It's 401.
No, it's 503, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
We should know. You got to know.
It's on 3rd Street East. We have two 3rd Streets in this town, and it's just a block south of the bowling alley or the park.
Yeah.
So it's just right in that area. It's a good place.
Or you know what you can do? You can do what I'm doing right now.
Which is to Google it?
And you can Google it. You can Google it, yeah.
All these smartphone features.
All right, so that address is, I'm pulling it up right now. Sharon, you don't have the address on the home screen of the Facebook page.
Oh. Well, I'm not in charge of the Facebook page. Did you look at our website?
Here we go. 405 North 3rd Street East in Chewelah. We were both wrong.
Yeah, we were.
You said 504 and I said 401?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the correct address, 405 North 3rd Street East.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. If you have any questions about the show or having difficulty finding tickets or anything, you can go ahead and message us on our Facebook page or call us right here in the studio, which is another number that unfortunately I just had in my head and forgot. So why don't you go ahead and Google KCHW. You can also find it on the website there, which will also have the phone number if you need to call.
And where else can you get tickets?
Online at KCHW Chewelah Center or ChewelahsGotTalent.com, our Facebook page, or in person at Valley Drug Company, Acres United Drug, or the Independent Office.
Okay.
Yep.
And with those, you have to be aware of their opening and closing times, where online, you can get those 24/7.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I do understand people I'm gonna rant, not rant here, but just be show maybe some generational differences.
Yes.
I was like selling tickets. When you sell those tickets online, they can be put into a program. It goes straight to our accounting department, and it goes straight in our QuickBooks and categorized instantly. There's no paperwork involved with those online tickets. They go straight through our back-end accounting. Is all accounted for, and like click a button, boop, report done. We know all of the finances, everything we made. Those in paper tickets, you have to design the ticket, you have to print the ticket, you have to deliver them, you have to keep track of them. You have to put them in a spreadsheet and then enter them into the system.
But
it's
there
like
are
10 times as much work.
There are us that just really appreciate all that work.
I know, and that's why we
want
do it.
that little hand ticket in
There
hand.
is something exciting about having that ticket, and I know I've been to concerts before where I had that ticket in my hand.
Yeah, and sometimes it's almost like when you go to the airport and you're worried about your phone's going to work to show them your ticket. You want to have a printed one.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's times if you go somewhere and you have something on your phone that you're looking at. Sometimes you want to have that.
Yes.
If it's a document you need to read out loud or something, sometimes you got to have that paper copy because you get in somewhere else and you don't know if you're going to have an internet signal.
All right. Well, we're going to need to keep on going.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Saturday also is the Cougar Tennis Tournament at Whitworth College. So this week we've got Chewelah sports at two different colleges, Gonzaga and Whitworth. How fun is that they get to play it?
That is cool.
Colleges, yeah.
That is cool.
And then the 509's Finest Karaoke at Fired Up Pizza.
Actually, that is not anymore. What it is, it's not Saturdays. It's a different company. It's actually Craig. I'm sorry, my brain.
I saw that Craig Moore or Craig something. Craig.
No, it's McQueen. Craig McQueen.
Right, but he's got a special name for
Craig
it.
Moore.
Yeah.
Craig Moore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to take that off there.
Or Craig Meyer. Sorry, Craig Meyer karaoke.
Yeah.
And that is Thursday night at Fired Up Pizza.
Okay. So I'm going to have to. I think I got that off the chamber site, so we need to let them know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at the chamber site right now, and it looks like they did change it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
good. Sunday, May 12th, is Fired Up Pizza, and I assume they're still going to do their blues jam, but it's also Mother's Day.
it is.
So we're telling you ahead. This is Wednesday. You've got a couple days to do something to honor your mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a couple brunches going on in town. The Mystic Casino will have one. Rusty Putter will have one. You should have one at your house for your mother. You know?
I think this Mother's Day is as a Mother's Day thing. We're going to get the house clean and do absolutely nothing.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll make her some brunch.
Yeah.
Maybe watch one or two of her favorite shows with her, and just do absolutely nothing. Spend the day with her.
Yep. And there are several places, schools and things that are selling potted plants and hanging plants. You could buy a plant for your mother if she's into plants. You know.
Is it the high school? Plant
This high
sale?
school, yeah, I think it was last weekend.
Okay.
And then there's if you haven't been to Setty's, they have got some beautiful plants down there. I believe Springdale had some. Their school has, they're just all over the place. It's that time of year.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I know the greenhouses are getting fired. The greenhouses have been fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I visited a couple of them already this year with the kids, and yeah. Yeah, it's the time.
Yep. So Monday, back to adult pickleball. And a reminder, there's no sit and knit. Also, there's the Brick Builders Club on the second Monday. That's at the library from 3:30 to 4:30. Next.
That one excites me. I'm really happy they're doing that.
Have you gone to that?
I haven't yet. I would love to, but
we need to get there to see it. Next Tuesday, May 14th, is Cougar All League Golf at Asotin. And next Thursday is Cougar Track and Field Districts at Lind Ritzville. So it's kind of exciting that we still have some of our high school athletics are still in the running for different tournaments.
Oh, Sharon, we're losing you a little bit on the mic there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bending down here to read.
She gets her head buried in her paperwork and forgets about the microphone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and a week from now, I just want you to plan May 18th and 19th is the Valley Warriors Against Cancer. And so that will be out at Valley, and they also have a car show in conjunction with that. We'll talk about that more next week. But I think it's real fitting that they are doing some work and they help local people who are having experiences with cancer, which one of ours, which we all love, was Sherry Freeman, who passed away from cancer.
Yes.
And so, and her memorial service is actually that same weekend, Sunday, May 19th. And so, that's appropriate that they're working to help families, and then we're going to have a memorial for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, speaking of, there is an ongoing fundraiser right now. There's a young man by the name of Zach. He's one of the city maintenance workers, and he's one of our volunteer firefighters. He's currently battling cancer, and if you go, I need to get the details from it, but there's a current GoFundMe for him. They've actually raised a pretty good chunk of money so far, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. So if that's on your Facebook, you need to share it with your friends.
Yeah.
This is a community that helps people when we know that personally from the help that they've given us, that this community helps people.
And this particular young man, he has a family. He has young children at home.
Oh, wow.
And they're struggling with their bills and struggling, as one does when this kind of thing happens. So I will get those details, and we're going to get them up on our Facebook page later today.
Okay.
I had heard about it before and hadn't followed up on it, and I had someone yesterday say they were going to send me the details so we can get that stuff out there.
Okay, that's
and start
good.
Talking about it, so.
And we want to let people know how they can help.
Yep.
Just coming up a little farther that we're just going to touch on lightly, there's a teen show, Little Women, that is happening this summer. Their auditions are May 21st. We'll let you know more about that next week.
Very cool.
The Filmmaker Showcase at the Otterview Drive-In is coming up May 23rd.
Yes, that one's going to be a fun one. Local filmmakers.
And is that still a free event? Because it has been before.
Yep, it is. It is free to the public, and that is put on by Joe Olzinski, one of our good friends. It's going to be his last film festival in Washington.
He could come back from his new home.
He might. Yeah, he is pretty much. He's going to do that film festival, and on the plane he gets and headed to his new home in a tropical paradise.
Oh yeah.
So where his wife has been busy getting everything ready. Luckily, she was with us. She was one of our guest judges or fill-ins for the last weekend of Chewy's Got Talent, which I'm very grateful for her. And over the weekend, she was with us filming. So
nice.
It was really great to have Heidi come back and spend some time with her and Joe. And have her wrangle Joe for us for the weekend.
Yeah. And we have other things coming up that we'll be talking about. One thing that... just a teaser, Ray and Dave DeVoe are doing a concert at the end of June in the Center for the Arts, and it'll be a fundraiser for the center. And we had a meeting yesterday, and it's going to be an exciting event. So that's just a little teaser letting you know we're not just taking a break for the summer. We're still having activities.
No, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. They're they're fun.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But speaking of concerts coming up, though, too, we have KCHW has another show coming up June 14th.
Oh.
Yeah, a guy by the name of Kevin Doran. He is going to be on tour through the area, and we managed to get him to stop off here. He's a solo singer, guitar player. He played here quite a few years ago.
Ah.
And his career has taken off since. He's from Idaho.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he's going to be traveling through the area, and we've got him to stop. He'll be on the morning show, the morning of the 14th with Scott and I, and then he's going to be performing in the theater later that night.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah.
So once we get going, he's got the most amazing voice.
Oh, good.
As we get closer, we're going to get through Chihuahua's Got Talent, and then we'll start promoting that show.
Yeah.
He has this most amazing sort of falsetto, sort of bluesy. He's unique. It's hard to describe his voice, but he's just got this wonderful, beautiful, angelic voice, and he plays the guitar. He does kind of this soulful blues.
Yeah.
Really great, really enjoyable to listen to. So really looking forward to that.
And sometimes we feel like we have to go out of town for events during the summer. So it is so nice that we are starting to see events pick up in the summertime in Chihuahua.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And that sound system in the park, think that stuff is getting ordered right now.
Oh, good.
It's been a little behind because there have been some of the components that have been out of stock that I've been waiting on some of these things getting back in stock, and with bank spending limits and regulations, all that, I've been kind of waiting to get everything all at once. Kind of waiting for that stuff to get back in stock, and some of that stuff is coming back in the next few days. So.
Well, and I've been surprised at how sometimes we order things and it takes a week or two. And the other day, a couple weeks ago, I ordered something on a Saturday and it showed up on Monday. And I'm going, how did this happen? So it was like, this might be back to what it used to be,
right?
4 or 5 years ago.
I know. I've been getting packages really quick. I had something the other day came the day after I ordered it. It came from the Spokane Amazon warehouse. I'm like, wow, they just put that sucker right on the truck.
They sure did. And we have other stuff coming up this summer, but we're just excited about what's happening in Chihuahua.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff coming up.
And we'll keep telling you, keep you involved, keep you letting know. Listen to us on Wednesdays to know. Oh, we have Donna Meyer says, "Go Cougs." So
exactly.
She was listening to us. Yes.
Wait, we're running a little late. We have Ryan from the Farmers Market sitting out in the waiting room waiting for us.
Okay.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back with some more stuff. And Ryan, tell us about the Farmers Market.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited. All right, we'll be right back with KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:06.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chihuahua, Colville, Kettle Falls.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, May the 8th, 2024. I'm Mike Clifford. A new report shows the number of kids covered by Medicaid varied widely between states as pandemic area protections were lifted. with Alaska seeing a decline.
The Georgetown University report says nationwide, more than 4 million fewer children were enrolled in Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program at the end of last year versus spring 2023, before the expiration of continuous coverage. Alaska saw a 9% drop in enrollment. The report estimates that in 70% of cases, children's coverage was canceled for procedural or red tape reasons, such as difficulty navigating the state's website, reaching a person via a helpline, or not receiving renewal notices. Trevor Storrs with Alaska's Children's Trust says since there haven't been any changes in eligibility criteria, procedural cancellations are likely.
More than likely, we have a significant number of Alaska children who are eligible for Medicaid, but were potentially dropped from the program during the unwinding process. And Alaska already had one of the highest rates of uninsured children, and this just adds to it.
Alaska was one of 8 states that disenrolled so many children that it had fewer enrolled than prior to the pandemic. Brett Pivito reporting.
Currently in the state, Medicaid recipients must reapply each year. And the judge presiding over Donald Trump's criminal case in Florida on charges that he hoarded classified secrets at his Mar-a-Lago estate after his presidency has indefinitely postponed the trial, once scheduled for May 20th. That from Politico. They report the date had been widely expected to move amid a tangle of pretrial conflicts between special counsel Jack Smith and Trump's attorneys. Smith had urged Judge Eileen Cannon to reschedule the trial to begin on July the 8th, but an order from the judge Tuesday suggested that she is unlikely to even decide on a new trial date before late July. And a collaboration between the federal government and local communities works to create new career opportunities. The first environmental career worker apprentice readiness training program is funded by the Biden administration's Justice 40 initiative.
Tony Johnson, a black single father from Michigan, credits the program with altering his family's future. He started his carpentry apprenticeship in April 2024 and is now on track for a union job in Flint. Johnson says this is the only program he has ever been part of that has created a career opportunity.
Imagine going to college and after finishing your program, the instructor line you up with jobs and they keep in contact with you. They gave us connections and comfort and stability knowing that we're not in this alone.
Johnson stumbled upon the program by chance and thinks it needs promotion in more Michigan communities. It partners with community colleges, historically black colleges and universities, and apprenticeship programs. Farah Siddiqui reporting.
This is Public News Service. Lagging salaries have meant teachers in Ohio and across the nation are experiencing a 5% drop in purchasing power, according to a new report by the National Education Association.
Last year, state lawmakers approved a 17% raise to the base annual salary for teachers from $30,000 to $35,000, and also agreed to fund the second phase of the state's Fair School Funding Plan. Scott DeMauro with the Ohio Education Association says those changes are silver linings, but notes Ohio has more work to do to alleviate shortages and retain educators in the field. He says state investment for teacher pay should be a priority.
I think there's a disproportionately high reliance on local revenues. So that would be dollars that come from local tax levies as opposed to from the state to fund our public schools. 1,300
school districts around the country saw starting teacher salaries reach or surpass $40,000 during the last academic year. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
And a Des Moines-based farm co-op is taking high-tech sports training into the country.
The field of high-tech sports training is usually reserved for athletes or other high-level performers. But that mindset is taking a dramatic turn as the Landis Farm Co-op in Des Moines has hired a physician. Dr. Dara Harris has spent much of her medical career training the Toronto Blue Jays minor league baseball players and is bringing those skills to the Iowa countryside. Harris says she's always been drawn to helping people who have to perform physically to make a living.
You don't have days off. You can't take it easy, right? It's that rub some dirt on it kind of world. And to be able to take the things that we've been learning in sports and in medicine and apply it to this group is just an incredible opportunity.
I'm Mark Moran.
Finally, Kathleen Shannon lets us know there are nearly 150,000 miles of rivers and streams in South Dakota, but new data shows many don't meet state standards for safe water quality.
According to the state's 2024 Surface Water Quality Report, nearly 80% of water studied don't meet the quality requirements for their intended uses, including recreation and aquatic life. The primary contaminants are E. coli and total suspended solids, which make rivers run brown. The report says some of the culprits are riverbank erosion, runoff from large farm operations, and sewage overflows. Travis Entenman with Friends of the Big Sioux River says those can pose human health risks through drinking water.
When there's excess nutrients in the water, it takes more cost, energy, equipment, time, money that goes into cleaning our water before we can drink it.
Much of the contamination comes from non-point sources.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here's on interesting radio stations, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Oh, sorry about that there, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We are live here in the studio with Ryan from the Farmers Market. He's the new Farmers Market manager this year. And Ryan, I'm sorry, I don't remember your last name.
Finley.
Finley. Oh my God, I lived in Finley when I was a kid.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I always said I wanted to get my hands on one of those signs, but I never was able to.
Welcome to Finley.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. You are the new manager this year of the Chewila Farmers Market.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting. I know we all love Brad. I know he's moving on to.
How could you not love Brad?
Brad is phenomenal. He's such a great guy. But he's gonna go off and get hitched and go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go explore his new life and.
Oh, wow.
And probably not volunteer with quite so many things, so he has a moment to himself every now and then.
Yeah.
What is that like? Why would he do that?
He'll have to write a memoir so we can all find out. Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I just want to make sure that you can hear me. I adjusted my mic. It's
Okay.
down a little, and am I okay?
Get a little bit closer to it. Bring it
Okay.
up just a hair there.
Bring it up?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
All right. And sorry about a little bit about the awkward introduction there at the very beginning. The music was playing, and I realized I never got your camera set up, Brian.
Oh, that's all right.
So you're not on camera right now, but maybe when someone else is speaking, I'll get you over there really quick.
No worries.
So tell us are you from the Chewila area?
I am, yeah. I
Okay.
was born and raised. In fact, I joke all the time when I have new friends come over to the house that we're living at. We look out my front window and I say, "You see that hospital over there? I was born right there."
Aw.
Dr. Robin Moyer. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what brings you to the farmers market? How'd you get involved with that? How'd you connect?
Well, I would honestly say an act of God, man. I tell
Yeah?
you what, it just was everything lined up the way that it was supposed to. My wife and I, my wife Jordan, who couldn't be here with me today, our little man Mason just had a hard night, so she was on mom duty this morning. Thank bless her heart, she has the hardest job in the world.
Yep.
So shout out to all you moms doing the hard job. But we met when we were real young, went off to college together, and ended up. I ended up tricking her into marrying me, and
as one does.
Yeah. And now at this point, we bought a couple of houses in Spokane, and we just never really felt like we were at home. I know for me, we always kind of joke when we're in school, oh, you don't want to get stuck in Chewila, but then you move away from Chewila, and Chewila always calls, man. I tell you what, it's just pulling at those heartstrings. So we did our thing for a while, and then through just some crazy doors opening, our path back to Chewila opened back up, and here we are back in Chewila. We got involved. Jordan got involved with a couple of the things that Greg McCunn puts on, on Thursdays down at the Yale or down at the City Hall, and just kind of getting involved with that group of people. We became we rekindled a acquaintance with Joan and Pete Thompson, who are just incredible people and incredible vendors. They shout out to Burnt Valley Farms. They have been a huge piece of the farmers market for so long. We got involved actually with the Young Life and Wildlife group here in town that was started up, and through that connection, we were able to get our feet there in the farmers market. Joan came up and kind of just said, hey, you've got a very specific set of skills, don't you? And I, well, yeah, thanks. And it just kind of went from there. She let us know that Brad was moving on to some really exciting things. And, Jordan, professionally, Jordan is a social worker. She's worked in community organization for, the last 5 years or so. And now being a mom, we had to find some ways for her to get her fingers back in the community. And what a better place to do it than here in Chewelah. So,
yeah, nice. And, we were talking earlier, kind of waxing poetic about the farmers market here and how it's really just a fun, just a nice sort of wholesome, just a place to kind of just relax and get away. You meet people, and the food is great, and all the vendors are great, and they get that fresh produce that you can't get, in the stores. It's really nice, and all the kids activities I love.
Yeah. It's almost nostalgic in some ways.
It is.
Just kind of coming back, right? Obviously, the farmers market started in 2008 when I was in 8th grade. If you can, sorry to make all you guys feel old, but 8th grade is when that farmers market started for me. And, obviously at the same time we had Chautauqua running, and Chautauqua with all those crazy booths in the park and everything. Now, without that, to me, that farmers market really just kind of pulls at those same strings of the feeling of camaraderie with everyone there at the park, the food, and just the excitement, hustle and bustle down there at the end. It's a ton of fun. Yeah, and this year, the nostalgia is really going to be running because we've got some great food vendors coming down to the market. We'll have Thai food this year. Weekly, they're going to change their menu, so you'll have something every week. Of course, the famous buffalo burgers from Mountain Natural Springs. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I've got a guy who just reached out the other day to do barbecue food. And one of the cool things about barbecue, what he wanted to do was he's going to partner with some of our farmers there at the market and utilize their food and their ingredients as he makes some of his barbecue food. And so you'll get a chance there at the market to have a taste of what it is that you're buying there at the barbecue pit. So.
Oh, that's
nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So if you're a sucker for nostalgia like I am, come down to the farmers market for those sweet smells of high quality food down there, just like it was back in the day with good old Chautauqua.
That's awesome. That is great. And so I don't want to name any names in case it didn't work out, but I know there was a popular Valley restaurant that was interested. Did they sign on?
I believe you might be talking about the Corner Table.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Corner Table's going to be down there this Friday. And they plan on being there every week for the farmers market. So we're really, really excited.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know the Corner Table was a staple in my childhood. So excited to have them back and get them going.
That is great. Yeah, I know they were really looking forward to it. That we were at that meeting, and they were trying to decide, and it seemed like by the end of the meeting they were looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, well, to that point, I think a lot of times when vendors are hesitant to come on, some of the reality of that is, we're not all spring chickens anymore, of course, and it's a lot of work to have everyone come into the market with a lot of really heavy equipment, and especially for those food vendors. A lot of times Brad really broke his back, getting stuff put together, and he's kind of forewarned me about some of the hard work that goes into some of this. I'm looking forward to it, but
I've helped Joan load that freezer in the back of her truck multiple times.
Yeah. I always have to laugh at the size of the coolers that she's got in her. I'm like, man, that takes up your whole space. But so just kind of a shameless plug to that thought in terms of volunteerism, right? We are constantly looking for high quality volunteers of
Yep.
any age, shape, size, whatever. If you have a desire to get down into the community, even if you're limited on mobility or what have you, we have a place where we can use you, and we can do so gratefully. So please do, if you have any interest in volunteering for the market, reach out to me, shoot an email over to the market. Whatever that looks like for you, we'd love to have you down there. I know our vendors would really appreciate the additional help, as would I. So.
Oh yeah, and I know at one point Brad had some group of younger men helping.
Yeah.
But I think they're all away at school or have moved away now.
A lot of them have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
go ahead.
I don't know if it's true everywhere, but we are a community that volunteers.
Amen.
And we say that a lot on our morning show. Just find a place that you like, something you're interested in, and you can volunteer. Whether it's the with cats and dogs, or it's with produce, or at the farmers market, or whether it's at the radio or at the Center for the Arts, Kiwanis, Lions.
Yep.
We just have all kinds of areas that you can volunteer in this community.
Yeah.
And I've noticed lately, I have noticed a lot of younger people coming in.
Yeah.
To help sort of pick up, because like Ryan was saying, and there's a lot of these people that have been volunteering here for years, done amazing things. But there's only so long we can keep relying on the same people to do everything over and over again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The way I look at it is I just want to see cool stuff happen, and I want to be a part of it. And if it's
that's how you can be a part of it.
Exactly. You be the change, right?
Yeah.
I always joke with people when they're saying, "Man, I wish we did this," or "I wish we did that," and I go, "Well, doing that takes hands. So if you wanna see some of these things happen, come on down and lend a hand."
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you're new to town, that's the way to get your friends.
Amen.
Is to find a church, volunteer in an organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people come in that they're like, "Hey, we just moved here. We don't know what's going on. We just want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
What can we do?" And we're like, "Well,
do I have a story for you?
Come with me."
Well, it's just much the same as Jordan and I, right? These young families, especially, I was joking about how when we're young and when we're in school, we're all saying, "Oh, we can't get trapped here in Chewelah," but again, it's just kind of calling to each of us as we go away, where it's hard to find a home like Chewelah. Hard to find a place that feels the way that Chewelah does. So we have a lot of these really young families who are coming back to Chewelah to raise their kids. Again, just much the same as Jordan and I. We have our little 1.5-year-old, and then we have another little girl on the way.
Yep.
So we are, just above and beyond everything, excited to bring our kids back and raise them in a place like Chewelah that has, the people and the resources and the things that we have. Community doesn't mean the same thing everywhere else that it does to people in Chewelah.
Well, and I think it's really good that you go out and find that.
Yeah.
You go out to college, you go out and in another community, and then you realize how wonderful we are here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, too, there's I call it my wife actually coined the term, but the somebody oughta board. It's a big whiteboard, and anytime anybody in the room says, somebody oughta, go write that on the board, because you know who's somebody?
Yeah.
You are, buddy.
Yeah. Amen to that. You bet.
And the only people that are going to make it happen are the people that want it to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So if there's, and it really is a very easy town to work with the city, to work with organizations. If you want to see something happen, you can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just have to, find some other people that want to do it with you and make it happen.
We find that in the Center for the Arts, because the older people been there, done that, and then we get new people in. Like we've got a new director, Paula, that's doing Shakespeare in this park this summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all, we didn't say to her, "You can't do that."
No.
We said, "Go ahead and try." And she's got a big cast. She's got it all cast. She's ready to start rehearsals. And we're going to have a Shakespeare Midsummer Night's
be
Dream
awesome.
in the park in the summer.
I didn't even know that. So thank you. All right.
Yeah, this is going to be the first of hopefully many Shakespeare festivals.
Yeah. It'll be one performance only in July and during when they have the Children's Festival. So, she's making it happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and new people coming to town or returning.
Yep, sure.
Like Ryan, he's going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something to be said about that Renaissance Shakespeare. You know, say what you want about the LARPing and all of that, but you can't tell me you don't drive by and go, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, people. Yeah, like you said, you could drive by judging those kids, those people. I wouldn't even say kids because some of them are adults.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, they're having the time of their life
The
out there.
best time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It doesn't matter if you get it. You don't have to get it. It's not for you.
No, just go out
Just
there
let
and
people-
look
yeah.
like a dork, and who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Embrace it. Embrace
Yeah.
it. So I love it. I love to see it. But no tomatoes.
No.
No tomatoes at
Yeah.
the Shakespeare Festival, please.
All right.
So will you have a booth? Do you grow produce, or will you just be the manager? How is this working?
So I don't have a booth myself. My wife and I will just partner in managing the market and
Okay.
making sure, you know, it has smooth operations. And,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, that doesn't go without, you know, making mention to the partners that we have across our board.
Yep.
And many of you know Deborah Barbie,
Oh, yeah.
who
Yeah.
is integral to a lot of the behind the scenes things, all the marketing, the Facebook,
Right.
and Instagram, you know, ads and things that you see. Deb has her hands in all of those. You know, Merritt Atchison, not only does he run, you know, probably one of the most prolific booths at the market, just the biggest and the most stuff, but he also has his hands in all the inner workings and making sure that this is maintained as a beautiful, beautiful market that,
Yes.
you know, brings glory to the community in the way that it should. You know, so a lot of these board members, you know, the Columbia Creamery, which is I was sad to see Radio Shack go, but wasn't that sad once I saw it was a creamery. You know, so they are going to be bringing ice cream to the park this year, and Virginia is also a board member who is just integral to a lot of the things that we've got going on. So yeah, ice cream. She's going to have 4 different flavors: chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, and coffee, I believe it was.
And it's going to be like served right there in the. Right there?
Yeah, she's gonna sell them. She's gonna sell them as pints.
Okay.
And you can buy them. We also have a vendor coming through. This has been a lot of the things that I've had people tell me about. Is, man, I wish there was coffee.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
we've got a guy named John with 395
$3.95,
Roasters.
yes.
Oh yeah, he's got set up so he's gonna be selling coffee by the cup.
Perfect.
So you can
Perfect.
come on down, get yourself a cup of coffee, get yourself a donut from Conrad Smucker. He's going to be making donuts on site.
Wow.
And if
Wow.
you haven't filled yourself up too much, you know, you can go check out the food vendors and all that. So, but yeah, for Jordan and I, we really just are committed to making sure that we steward what Brad and the rest of the group have
cool.
built over the last years, and make sure that it continues to run in a way that pays homage to what everyone else has done, you know, and hopefully continue to build it. I know last year we had, I believe, about 30 vendors, and so far already we've got almost 40
Nice.
just prior to the very start of the market, which is
Nice.
kind of unheard of and also
Yeah.
stressful, let me tell you what.
Yeah. So are you going to have microgreens? Like a few years ago, you had microgreens, and I kind of missed them.
Yeah, so we do have a vendor that's going to bring some microgreens. It may not be in the first couple of weeks, but we
okay.
do have some microgreens coming. A couple of vendors that are going to have some herbs, which I know for us, my wife and I apparently have no idea how to build herbs up and get them to stay alive. So we are stoked.
I can't keep anything alive in my
man.
garden except the wild mustard and the weeds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I just mow the lawn. My wife makes everything else pretty. So
Yeah.
and to that point as well, just kind of a quick segue to some of the benefits for those specific things that we have coming. On Friday, we have Rural Resources coming down from Colville to set up a booth for our senior program, the senior food, senior nutrition program. And the goal with that is to give access to any individual that's over 60 years old, or if you're Alaskan or Native, it's 55 years old. But they're going to come down and help seniors of that age demographic sign up for this program. And the idea is It's funded through some federal grants as well as the USDA. The idea is that it's going to give them $80 on a card that they can come down and they can buy locally grown fruits, vegetables, honey, herbs, microgreens, those things specifically with those benefits. And that was an area where just talking with the rest of the board and seeing some of the numbers and things come out from years prior, we may have missed the mark just a bit in terms of getting those benefits, really infiltrated into our community. And we're not going to miss that mark moving forward. We've got rural resources coming down for the first few weeks to help those people of that demographic sign up there on site. So June 1st, once those funds become available, you can immediately come down to the market, purchase those things that, Sharon, I know you're excited for, the microgreens, the herbs, those things. And, you can do it on Uncle Sam's dollar. So what's better than that?
So I am of that age. Have
barely,
been for
barely,
15
barely.
years or more.
I would have never guessed walking in here either. You look great, Sharon.
So are there financial requirements too, or just age?
Yeah,
for
so
the seniors?
There are a couple of financial requirements, and by a couple I really just mean one. Of that age demographic, the federal poverty level, I believe, currently sits at about $35,000 per year. So you'd have to be at or below that, which I know. If you're anything like all the hardworking folk in Chewelah that I have met, some of you guys are going to work until the day you die. And that's, that's the hard work and blood of Chewelahites, or Chewelians, however you want to say it. But yeah, if you're someone who is at or below that level, you will automatically qualify for those things. There's nothing additional you would need, to jump through any hoops. You'd be able just to come in, sign up, and get access to that $80 to purchase those items from the market.
Okay. That sounds like a great program.
Yeah.
Especially seniors. We have a primarily senior age community, and you hear the stories all the time about these so many people here, they literally just can't afford,
don't have the money
to feed themselves, and then the food that is affordable is just
not as healthy.
Yeah, it's not as healthy.
Yeah. Well, we're real fortunate. Gino was a teacher, so we have retirement, but if I look at our Social Security, and if we were living just on mine and his Social Security, it would be very tough. Even though our house is paid for, our cars are paid for, that kind of stuff. But just the living, the utilities alone keep increasing.
Oh yeah.
And so. And I have friends who live just on Social Security.
Sure.
So this is a great program for them.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a really good friend that lives off Social Security, and it does not even come close to paying for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily she was able to, she gets an occasional royalty check from a movie she was in, and that's enough to sort of help her get.
How do I get on that?
Right.
You have to be in a movie first.
But it's unpredictable, but sometimes it's just enough when she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and then something comes in. But a lot of people aren't, they don't have. That's all they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for any things like this, to just be that little extra, something to get something in the fridge is nice.
Yeah. Sharon, I knew I couldn't for the life of me I was like, man, I know Sharon. Why do I know Sharon? And it's because Gino, man.
Yeah.
I have to say I owe a lot of the man that I am to the mentorship that I was given by Gino just as growing up and being taught and coached by him. He's a Chewelah legend.
So, he really is.
Oh man, I just love Gino to death.
And he was sitting in his hospital room for months, still writing stories for the paper.
Yeah.
Still following
You'll
sports.
Never get that guy to stop. I tell you what.
No.
Well, and we may complain about COVID, but it was a blessing in disguise for some of this, especially for him, because all of a sudden, all of the games he can watch them on his computer.
Mm-hmm.
They film things, or he's got a couple of different programs that he has, and so he's able to watch baseball and basketball and all those kind of things from his recliner in our house.
Well,
a lot of that, like Back to the Future type stuff, video screens and conference calling and all this stuff, it was available before COVID, but it didn't really work that well.
And
And,
ordinary people didn't know about it.
Yeah, they said mothers and or what mothers is blah blah blah. I can't even talk. Necessity is the mother of invention, and people needed ways to communicate, and now we have these amazing new ways to communicate that are great.
Well, and as just a little sidelight, my sister and her family every Sunday now, ever since COVID, they all get together at 8:00 Montana time, and they are on the big screen. She's got kids in Texas and kids in Utah and kids in Washington State, and whoever can get on, they have a family visit at 8:00 on Sunday nights.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah,
and they would have never had that without COVID. That's all my whole point.
I know
on that.
Yeah. And it's great to see. So a segue again. COVID, the market kind of hit a kind of declined a little bit during COVID, as everything did.
Yeah.
So it's really great now to finally see. There was like a year or two of things kind of picking back up, but now it just feels like it's coming right back in full bloom.
Well, and that really kind of is on the back of Brad, right? Brad truly was. If Brad wasn't there at that time in that position, doing what he was doing and working as hard as we all know Brad does, the market may have seen even more of a decline than it did, and thank the Lord for Brad,
right?
And what he was able to do, and again, that's why for me it just weighs so heavy on me to be such a good steward to what Brad has done, because I know I've got some big shoes to fill.
Those are like size 15s, man.
Clown shoes, man. I tell you what. Yeah.
Well, and before, some of our market managers were also vendors, and that's a really hard thing to do.
Oh, man.
They did a great job, but each one, as they've taken over, has improved on the other one. And Brad, without having his own produce or whatever, was able to do things that other ones couldn't do.
Sure.
And so that I was just kind of curious about whether or not you were going to have a booth, because that's very hard.
Man, Brad was always flying around that market.
Running. Yeah.
Just we expect to see the same out of you, young man.
Yeah, you bet. I figure it's
little wings on your back.
It's going to be my way I can get my summer body in shape. I'll be running around.
And it's not just you. There's a team now running the Friday market. It's you and your wife. Correct?
Yeah. I always joke, behind every good man is a woman who made him that way. And that is so true with my wife. I owe her everything. She keeps our family afloat. She keeps everything running the way that I could only dream that it is, and I'm so grateful I get to bring her along with me to the market. My background is I'm a part of a number of different ministries and music and things like that, but my professional background really is around business and business operations and some of those inner workings of what's going to be really important for the market and keeping some of those things moving forward. But Jordan has a huge background in education, in community outreach, community resource. She worked in crisis mental health for a while and was a counselor, and then she was working in community organization for a little while. So her background in that, and really just her calm when I'm getting overwhelmed or stressed or whatever, she is the quiet that I can kind of recede back to, and she makes everything better. So
nice.
Really excited to have her alongside me, and really excited for you guys to have her alongside me, so it makes everything better for you guys as well.
Yeah. Well, you say that about every man having a woman behind him. Mine makes me not look like the idiot that I am.
Oh, yeah. Man, I can't even explain, man.
If it wasn't for her, people would be like, oh, Chuck, just go away. And, she gives me advice, and I follow it. And, I wouldn't be able to do half the things I could do without it. So.
Yeah.
Well, it just shows that in a marriage relationship, it's good to have two adults.
Amen.
You know, I mean,
or in our case, at least one that pushes me to pretend like I'm an adult.
Yeah, at least one that can hold her own anyway.
But every once in a while, you see marriages where one wants to be the chief and wants the other one to be subservient, and that's not healthy.
No.
So what you're talking about is healthy relationships where you treat each other as adults, and you just work off each other. It's just a good relationship.
Couldn't do it without her. Tell you what, couldn't do it without her.
Yeah.
Or again, in my case, shut up and listen.
Oh yeah. I'd be off in a ditch somewhere if it wasn't for her. I tell you what. So.
Yeah, I got used to the phrase a long time ago. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
That was a hard one for me, but I figured it out.
So tell us a little bit about the hours of the Friday market. Any events we have coming up?
Yeah, so the hours are from 11 to 3:30. We do have some cool events coming up. We have the annual Cherry Splat coming up at the end of May, and then of course our big 4th of July festival, if you will, there at the market that Friday before the 4th. We do have Catherine Pryor. I had the opportunity to go meet Catherine Pryor, who's a prolific children's author, and she resides here in Washington State, and she travels from market to market. And we have you'll have to forgive me, Deb is going to smack me upside the head because I can't remember what this is, but it's the zucchini float or
the zucchini regatta.
Regatta.
Yes.
Man, good night. Sorry, Deb. Don't hurt me for that one. But Catherine Pryor has a book about zucchinis since she writes for farmers markets. And we're hoping that we're going to be able to have her come down and do a story time for kids on that zucchini regatta. We've got a lot of high-quality musicians coming through the market. Specifically this Friday, we've got Tom McLean, who, if you know who Tom McLean is, you know him as a musical genius.
Yep.
Boy, that guy just, man, he can do everything and anything you can think of. Play the piano and the guitar at the same time. He's incredible. So we're excited to have him come down. And quite a few others as well. A couple of college students from the jazz program in Whitworth, hoping to come down and do some of those things. So really, really excited about the things on the docket for this year.
Very cool.
Well, and that sounds exciting because you can come down and listen to them for free.
I know.
Where if you wanted to listen to Tom at one of our singer series, you've got to pay $20 to come into the theater.
Well, nothing better than free, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Free 50, as I like to say.
Free 50. That is awesome, and I know we've talked before where the radio station is going to be more involved this year with the market. We're going to be there broadcasting.
Well, you better be. I'm planning on it anyway.
We're going to be there. We're going to be there this Friday, broadcasting throughout the day.
All right.
Yes, but I mean, we're not going to miss the opening day of the Friday market. Come on now,
my man.
No. We definitely and I know in past years we haven't been too involved, and it started a little bit last year. Went to a few weekends. We were there for the zucchini regatta and the apple pie contest, and we'd like to be more involved and help get the community sort of all together there.
Yeah, well, I think it's so important, right, to have the pillars, to have the pillars of the community just come down and no matter how involved you are or what it is you're doing, just be in visibility, right? We've got so many of those pillars this year already coming down, like the Chamber of Commerce and the Center for Arts, and of course, with the radio station coming down, it just really goes to show what we have here in Chewelah. Everyone says #Spokane doesn't suck, but I think we can say that about Chewelah as well.
Definitely.
We just have so many great things and great people that are doing things to build this community up into what it maybe never has been. And it is in full visibility every Friday for free. You can come down and see where you can plug in.
Well, you know what? When we're having fun, that's contagious.
Oh,
man. If the
Yeah.
people that are doing it are having fun, everyone else, it's gonna catch on. People are gonna come. People are gonna, join in. With the fun.
Yep.
And I know one time I've talked to you briefly about this. At one point, we haven't picked a date yet. Just a little sneak peek. We're gonna have a KCHW sponsored kazoo parade.
Boy, are we
in the park, and we may want to coincide it with another event happening.
I hope so.
Sort of the end of it. Might be a fun one.
If you're an avid kazoo player, come on down. We need you.
and for anyone out there listening, kazoos aren't just for children.
No, they are not.
Yeah. No, that's an all ages tool of fun right there.
I will fight you.
My sister and her family play nose harps.
Oh man! Can you just add that in?
Yeah, it's a special little thing, and you blow through it, and that's quite interesting. They do it at reunions and stuff.
Wow, is that anything like the jaw harp? And boing, 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 boing.
Okay, that is one thing I wish we had a little more of in Chewelah. We're a little bit more rural. There are a few things that I'm going, okay, we could stand for for one of those spoon harp thingies or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Some spoon
players.
Players.
And
Is
the
that what
mouth
they?
harp thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
So I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One, people wonder why you don't go later because they say, I can't get there till after work. But I
Yeah.
think people have figured out how to take their lunch hour and go to the market.
Yeah.
But that is a question that people ask is why do you quit so early?
Yeah, some of it has to do with, and again, it's been a big conversation amongst the board and a big conversation amongst vendors, and we've done some tests, we've done some things to try to move timings around, whether we start earlier to catch those folks who start work later, or we end later. And what we found is actually the traffic during those areas in a lot of cases is not really worth it for the vendors to be spending their time down there if they don't see anyone come down. So we're certainly open to testing some of those waters again and getting the market hours expanded just a little bit. And what I have a feeling will happen is as we continue to bring some of these awesome food vendors down, I'm hoping it'll grab some of those people who maybe wouldn't come down to the market otherwise. Check out what we've got, see some of these incredible people who are spending their time there. And 98% of the vendors that we've got at the market are not just doing the Chewelah Farmers Market. And that plays a huge piece into, our timeline and how much time we ask of our vendors. We've got, I know Mark and Jackie with Our Little Lavender Co., they on Friday will be here. And then Jackie's going to leave midway through the day to head on down to another market to get set up for the weekend. And, so these guys really bust their tail in every facet that you can even think of. So for us, really, it is trying to find hours that are going to be mutually beneficial both for the community as well as for our vendors who work as hard as they work to be there.
Right. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then, obviously someday ours will get big enough to where other vendors will be like, oh, I have to leave this one early or I can't do this one because I got to be at the Chewelah Farmers Market.
Yeah, well, and in the future too, hopefully, Lord willing, with some grant, infiltration and some of those additional funds, as some of those things come in, there are opportunities for us even to look at potentially having a year-long market where we're open, more throughout the year. We have more of a permanent venue, whether that means it's put together in the park or in another area of town. There's a lot of those conversations around giving our community access to the farmers market for longer, whether that's longer in the day or longer in the year. We just kind of have to wait to see when the money starts coming in. Kind of
and I know we do have some exciting stuff in the works over there. I know that for one, the city has gotten a very substantial grant to do some improvements in the park in general. We've got the Governor statue just recently got approved to get put in the south end of the park. The Creative District got a grant that we're going to be starting up here probably after the convening. We're going to really hit full gear and start meeting and planning some of that stuff for next year. And get everything in place. So next year, once the spring hits, we'll get going on construction for some actual pads going down for vendors. Yeah. Some sculpture bases. Yeah. A new electric. I think new electric in there for the vendors is going to be huge.
You gotta think Chautauqua was running for how long and all that electrical
45
was
years.
All that electrical was put in there for all those vendors for Chautauqua so long ago. And now since that's gone, there's really only us that uses that electrical. So an upgrade in that way would just be huge. And also opening up space if we can put that electrical at the ground level so that you're not tripping over electrical boxes as you're trying to catch a football or frisbee.
Oh yeah, and it helps the maintenance crews. They don't have to weed eat around the posts. And I know there have been a couple of those posts throughout the years where you go to use them, you got to hold on to that post and plug in so you don't knock the post over.
Yeah. Equally as careful not to knock it over or be electrocuted. So
right, exactly.
And there are other places in the park that have electricity, and they have that in the ground type that you're talking about on the south end and over on the southeast over by the restrooms in the scout cabin. There is electricity over there, but you wouldn't know it because they're buried.
Yep.
And so that is a really, that's a good thing to do.
Well, these ones, I know, again, we have to do some more coordinating with Friday Market, but I know the ones that we had planned in our grant application were ones that they sit flush with the concrete. They're very well marked. It's very obvious that they're, electrical outlets, and they're, meant to be low profile. The vendors, they're the ground crews can just mow right over them. Some of them where there's not going to be the pads going in right away, they can be, the pads can be put in around them type stuff. So, it's really going to be a lot of benefits for the vendors to make it a better experience for everybody.
Big for us too, from just a booth standpoint, right? I was talking with a vendor just the other day, and she was talking to me about, well, we don't necessarily need the electrical, but we really like where we were at, but we asked for another booth this year, and if we stay exactly where we're at, then we're going to have this electrical pole right in the center of our booth. And that just won't work, So from a planning perspective and making things nicer for the vendors as well. I just have a hard time finding something bad about that.
Right, exactly. And accessibility, I know not so much with the Creative District plan, but with the city plan, we'll go around where they're eventually going to get ADA pathways.
Going through
this.
Amazing.
Accessibility, especially for senior citizens, people with disabilities, has been a kind of an issue with the park and the market in general.
Even in talking with some of our seniors, just having conversations around, hey, have you come down to the market? And maybe their answer is no, I haven't for a few years, just because I have a harder time getting down there and walking across the grass and what have you. So a few things that are going to be huge and integral to be able to get you guys specifically access back to the park for that market, both in the pathways, but also don't hold me to this, but this is they're in talks right now, is a conversation around being able to order some vegetables or whatever you need from the market to do a later, like an end of day pickup, where maybe all the vendors are gone, but my wife and I are sitting there at the edge of the park, and you can drive up and we'll load your vegetables that you've ordered into your car for you, just to kind of hit two birds with one stone, if you will. Those that can't necessarily hit the market because of work, while we're not necessarily able to expand hours, but then also some of those individuals who are not able to traverse the pathways that don't exist yet.
Right. And I'm just to expand on that, maybe you could have like alternative pickup locations where you could drop those off. And, that'd be fantastic. And I know
benefit to everyone.
Oh yeah, and I know I spent a good portion of 2022 in a wheelchair, and I was unable that whole summer to go to the market because I just couldn't traverse that whole area in a wheelchair, but. And the later pickup thing, that might be great for people like me who go to the market intending to stop by and get my vegetables. I don't want to carry them through the market. Then by the time I get done wandering and losing track of time, all of a sudden I go back and everybody's packed up and it's time to go.
Yep, it'll be awesome. It'll be amazing. I'm hoping for some really big things, some innovations. We've got some really great people that are giving us some really great ideas. The board gives me a lot of leeway and power to, really act on their behalf and do some things, and that has been exciting. But by the same sense as well, I'm always open to good ideas. Cause, like I said, if it wasn't for Jordan, I probably wouldn't have that many good ideas myself. So
right.
Well, I've always said that somebody new coming in should be able to do it better, because you can see what's been done. And you can and you can expand on that. So
when the person before you has laid the groundwork.
That's right. And it's not an insult to the person before you. It's just you're able to take and expand on what they've done, and they laid the groundwork for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And they did it with the people before them.
Exactly.
It's an interesting balance of stewardship versus ownership, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I think for me, I'm a big ownership guy, and to some extent that kind of leans into almost kind of a performance atmosphere for me. But I think going into the farmers market has really given me a little better idea of what it looks like to be a good steward to the groundwork that other people have laid, and not just come in and flip tables over. I think there have just been so many good things that have already been laid by Brad and the rest of the team. I would be remiss if I didn't try to build off of those amazing things and do so in partnership with those people. like Brad, who, as busy as he is going to continue to serve on our board as our treasurer, as well as he'll be at the market there this Friday, just helping me with the first setup, and he'll be around. If you don't catch him at the market, you can always catch him on Mondays. He got his pasteurizing license,
Yes,
so now
he did.
he is he's pasteurizing milk down there at the creamery, and he's always excited to say hello to anyone who comes in. So
Oh yeah, they're doing such cool stuff with that creamery. Such a unique. Fun,
I'll tell you,
fun
the
thing.
Thomases, they do a great job. They do such a great job over there.
And I want to say one little thing. We talked a little bit about Chautauqua, and I have people that say to me, I just want to have Chautauqua back. Well, that would be fun, but we planned all year for one weekend. And since we don't have Chautauqua, people are involved and they're planning all year or part of a year, and we're having things all summer long.
Yep.
And things are expanding. And to me, I've said this a lot. It's better to have a whole lot of little parties than have just one.
Yeah.
It's like Hydra. You cut the big head off, and a bunch of smaller ones sprouted out.
Smaller ones sprout out. Yeah. Well, and that's again, that's not to say that Chautauqua is forever dead, right? And that's not to get anyone's hopes up. Of course, I have nothing to do with Chautauqua or any of those decisions, but from a place of understanding what it takes to put on an event like that, right? It starts first with our community and its volunteers and who's willing to come out and help. And we have some amazing people down at the Commerce office who are putting together these events like Winterfest and Summerfest, and Summerfest is going to be great. If you haven't seen Holly Hungerford blasting all of her ask for help to come out and volunteer for Summerfest. You're not looking at Facebook long enough. So, when you see that, I love Holly. She's one of the greatest alive. Reach out to her and let her know how you can help, because those are ways that we bring back some of those amazing things that we had.
And there's a meeting today at 12:30 at the city for Summerfest.
At the City Hall, yeah.
And so if that's something that you really want to be involved in, and this year it's going to be a one-day event, but they're already looking at next year possibly being a 2-day event.
That sounds like Chautauqua to me.
It does sound like it.
It's I don't know if it's supposed to be public knowledge or not, but I will say the park has been booked for 2 days next year. Whether it gets used for those 2 days or not is still in question, but just in case.
And it is
that
the
park
same
for
weekend
the same
that previous Chautauquas were on.
What?
It's been booked.
Come on.
Yeah, for next year.
There's going to be a new sound system installed in the stage.
Yeah.
There's going to be, a whole bunch of new vendors at the Friday market to go bug and say, hey, you want to come back for
and
this?
it might not be called Chautauqua, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Summerfest is a great name.
It is.
And we have the 3-on-3 basketball that has going to have their second one this year.
Shout out to Dakota McQuain on that.
Yes.
What a cool event he's got putting together,
yeah.
And what a great homage to our area, with Hoop Fest. We're an hour away from Spokane, and honestly, who wants to go down to Hoop Fest with 40,000 people and be elbow to elbow and it's hot? And Dakota's put on such a great event down there on Main Street to get some of our athletes doing what they love to do.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I didn't know it was Hoop Fest weekend, and I went down to the park last year with my kids.
Big mistake.
We rented those Lime scooters, and we're like, "What is going on here? We can't park anywhere." But we had a great time. There was the vendor. It was like the day before, and the vendors were all setting up, and some of them were open, so it was kind of nice to go there the day before when all the activity hadn't started yet, and some of the vendors were just getting up and going. Half of them were open, half of them were still setting up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, even going to going to Eastern, at such a big school with so many people there, when you'd tell people, "Oh, I'm from Chewelah," and I would always have to laugh, and they'd be like, "Oh, what do they have that Chautauqua or something like that?" And you're going, "Oh, you mean Chautauqua?" Yeah. So Chewelah has a lot of notoriety for the things that that I say we like I've had some hand in it, but that the town has that the city and community has always put on, and boy, what a great knowledge to know that so many people in the area see us and view us as such a cool thing. So shout out to everyone out there doing all the hard work. It's you who makes it great.
Yeah, and it starts from the top down and it starts from the bottom up.
Amen.
We need everybody. We have a wonderful mayor right now.
He's the best.
I was on city council for 20 years and worked with several mayors, and each one was good,
Mm-hmm.
but each one got better. And Greg is just what we need right now.
Oh yeah.
He's got a lot of energy.
He's such a faithful man and knows the way to just be in community, and that's the most important first piece is being in community with your community.
Yep.
And I think from the mayor's office to the organizations, everybody, all the nonprofits, I think there's sort of a I guess I'd call it maybe a shift in sort of the culture of not being afraid to just jump in with both feet and just try it.
Yeah.
Just, who cares if it's been tried before and didn't work? We're going to try it again. We're going to, if it's some crazy idea. If I've said before, like with the Creative District, if people around the state, aren't looking at Chewelah and saying, "Oh, what are those crazy people doing next?" We're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a comment on Facebook. Katie Darling says, "I'd love a late pickup."
Oh,
so we have at least one person who would like a late pickup.
I love a late pickup. All right.
Okay.
Well.
So speaking of late pickups, we're actually past our time for the morning show. We're actually running a little bit late.
Ooh.
So we need to get out of here. We need to let people get to work and
right.
go about their day. So tell us once again, really quick, times, anything important this weekend for Chewelah's Got Talent. That's my thing. I'm going to do that next.
I love it. No, Chewelah Farmers Market, guys. We are so excited to have you come down to the market and just be in community and camaraderie with all of us. We're excited to see all the faces, and if you're Deborah Barbie, you're excited to see all the dogs. Come on down and hang out. That's her favorite post to make is all the dogs.
Nice.
We start there at 11. We run till 3:30. We've got almost 40 vendors and 5 food vendors. For anything you can think of, you can grab there at the market. Tom McLean is going to be down there this weekend playing music for us. Again, he's just a musical genius. We will be there every Friday, same time, 11 to 3:30, starting this weekend now until October 10th. If you're a member of SNAP or EBT or any of that, we accept all those things. In fact, we'll match you $25. If you're going to spend $25, we'll give you another $25 to spend there at the market when you use that card.
That's a great deal.
Great deal,
Yeah.
incredible, and not enough people use it. So if you're in that group of people, come on down, use it. If you're not in that group of people, we'll take your real money too. So come on down and hang out. We just we're looking forward to seeing you. So thank you guys.
Okay.
Now, one really quick question. I know we're running late, but I forgot to ask this question earlier. You're talking about extended times. If a vendor doesn't want to pack up and go home at 3:30, can that vendor stick around later? If there's still a bunch of people in the park, is there a requirement if you're a vendor that you have to leave at 3:30?
No, not at all. We ask that if you're a vendor, you stay till 3:30, rather than having you pack up and leave holes in our market, and create a bad experience for the customers coming through the park. We ask that you stay there till 3:30 with us. But if you're having a good day and people are, buying what you're selling, stay down there, hang on, do your thing. We would encourage that.
So that's what I'm saying. The people that are wishing the market would stay later. Maybe again, be
there.
Be the change. Be there. Chain yourself to a tree. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay,
don't do that.
so I have one more comment from one of our favorite listeners, Sam Bowers. She says, "I'm glad I listened today. I'm happy to be part of this town. Have a wonderful day, everyone."
Sam, I'm glad you're a part of this town too.
Yeah. All right. Well, that about does it for the show today. Don't forget, those Chewelah's Got Talent tickets are for sale. You can get those at Valley Drug, Acres Drug, The Independent, or online at ChewelahsGotTalent.com, KCHW.org, or our Facebook page. You can stay tuned right here tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. with Music for the Mountain. 8 to 10 p.m. is Dirt Road Blues with our very own Dirt Road Doug McQuain right here live in the studio. Then from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. is Planetary Radio, Sea Change Radio, Echo Shock, Total, and Earth Date. So, all right. Thank you so much again, Ryan, for coming in today. You guys have a great one. We'll be back tomorrow morning with myself and Scott Allen for the used to be Three Amigo Thursdays. It's just the two of us on Thursdays now.
Compadres.
That's right. All right, everybody. You have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to KCHW.org. Don't forget to get your tickets for Chewelah's Got Talent and show up at the Friday market.
Yes.
It's the first day.
Yeah.
Be there, be square.
Be part of the community.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.